Hey guys, welcome back to Gear by Orla. Today I am reviewing the Black Hole 25 litres from the brand Patagonia. I am a huge fan of the brand Patagonia. I wanted a backpack that wasn't a roll top that I could test out, and it being a smaller backpack so that I could commute from Scotland to Ireland with it and test it out and see what I found. This is a bit of a different backpack for me in terms of the texture and feel of this backpack. In my previous videos I have explained that I have a bit of sensory needs when it comes to different textures and things like that, and also my skin is very sensitive, so I can get flare-ups of rashes and things like that depending on different materials. This leads me nicely to how this bag is made up. This is made up of 6.7 ounce 300 dinar 100% post-consumer recycled polyester ripstop, which is amazing. Patagonia does not list this as waterproof, but it is water resistant for sure. And this is down to the TPU film laminate and a durable water repellent finish. I was kind of worried whenever I first got this backpack that the material was going to look kind of cheap, but when I got it, it absolutely looks amazing. There's a uniqueness about it. It's very glossy. It's kind of that ripstop, so like the tearing or anything like that isn't going to happen. I mean, the test will be over time. I will probably do like a yearly update on this backpack and how it lasts, you know, in terms of like fading and things like that. But as of now, in the last couple of months, it's just performed really well as a day-to-day bag, and also for me commuting from Scotland and Ireland, it has been very handy to pack. It is 25 litres, but you do get a lot into it, and I will explain that further into this video. The YKK zippers are easy to maneuver. It's a Duraflex hardware. It sets up the bag for this long-lasting experience, which is great. That's what you want from a bag. And as mentioned, the real test will be now in a year's time, 2 years time, as to whether this bag can hold up. The bag is a polyester, which in comparison to other materials such as nylon, you aren't going to get as long out of this than you would a nylon backpack like the neck bags. So that's just something to keep in mind. But as a day pack, like, and how you treat it is going to be down to how long it's going to last. I think with this material, you're either going to hate it or love it. When I was looking online, I definitely wasn't a lover of it, but I really wanted this kind of compact bag, and I love the background of Patagonia and their sustainability, so it was just something I definitely wanted for myself, and so far so good. This color I got is the green, is it the friend green? Green is what it is to me, but you can get it in a different bunch of colors depending on where you are in the world. If you've seen my previous videos, I love a backpack that I can go to the gym in, go to work in, and then hop on a plane. The dimensions are 55.9 by 26.7 by 14 centimeters. That's 25 litres, and this bag, obviously empty, is weighing at 1 pound, which is very light, so it is great for that. Polyester is light, so you kind of weigh up the pros and the cons of light, especially when you're traveling. You want a lighter bag so that you can pack heavier in comparison to nylon. Nylon's going to last longer, so it's just weighing up those pros and cons for yourself. Personally, I prefer a lighter bag. This is going to be long lasting. It is, if you take care of it. I think over time maybe a few things might fade, like this kind of Patagonia branding here might fade. The straps on the back, I don't know how long they would last in terms of the connection from the bag. And also just overall little bits like the water bottle compartment. These are the things that are probably going to wear first, but it is a lightweight bag, which makes it great for traveling. For reference, I am 5'6", and this is what the backpack looks like on me fully packed, and this is what the backpack looks like on me empty. So the bag doesn't like hold itself up or anything like that because the bottom is curved, so when you position it like that, it's going to automatically fall forward. And whenever the bag is packed, it is quite a crinkly styled material. It doesn't look as aesthetically pleasing as it does when it is packed. This backpack is priced at $149. It is the perfect day pack. It is easy to clean, especially on the front part. less easy to clean on these kind of parts of the bag where things are a little bit easier to mark in comparison to this laminated front compartment of the backpack. So that's just something to know in terms of cleaning it. So I just kind of wanted to show you what I can get into this backpack. They are the packing cubes from Peak Design. I was able to get 3 of them in there, and also I was able to get the Tropic Fields reversible jackets in there with the vest and the layer, which is amazing. So you can pack it right up to the top. It's great in terms of sizing. A thing to note though is that I would put your laptop in first before you pack, because it is a bit of a tight squeeze, and also the other pockets, which I'll get into, are kind of compromised whenever the bag is fully packed, in that being the space and things like that. So you're less likely to get anything into the front pocket up here whenever you have this backpack fully packed. It does fit nicely in the seat in front of you on a plane. It doesn't have that suitcase slit on the back, which doesn't really bother me because it's, you know, it's lightweight. It's not really a bag that I necessarily need to put down, but it might be something that is a deal breaker for yourself, so that's just something to note. But I also don't think that it goes with the style of the bag. It's like this day pack that you can take on hikes, you can use as a gym bag, and you can also use it as a personal item. The daisy chain here on the front is what makes it, you know, transform into that kind of adventure backpack, and you can also just attach anything that you want. You've got a bigger lip here that you can also use as a handle should you need it. You've also got this handle at the back, not very padded or anything like that. It's just, you know, a bit of like a seatbelt kind of material. If you are holding on to this for long enough, it is going to hurt your hands, but you know, just be smart with it. This is a bit thicker, and then you've got a thicker kind of medium one down at the bottom, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 little loopholes here, which is great for attaching anything. It's handy enough for me if I want to attach my headphones on the front. I find that I don't want them really squished into a bag. You can kind of attach them like that. It's really up to you what you attach here. You know, you can attach other things that might be suitable to you and your adventure. It is a great lightweight backpack for hikes and things like that, because that's what you want. You don't want an overly heavy bag that you're trekking up the mountain. And saying that, you can get this in the 32 liters if you actually do want to go slightly bigger. Also, with the back system, it works out well if you want to put a water bottle hydration bladder pack, or you also have 2 side compartments that you can use for your water bottles and other accessories. There is no external straps on this side here to help support a tripod or things like that. So just to note, this is the 2 side compartments. When the backpack is fully packed, it is not a struggle, but it's tight. It's a tight fit. I mean, if you put in a smaller tripod here and the backpack is fully packed, it's going to be secured in. It's secured in by this elastic. It's not very reliable. This feels like it could rip easily. If anyone caught like a key or anything on that, this definitely would rip. That's just something to note. I can fit my water bottle in here fine. This is a 500 ml. Obviously it goes a bit deeper, which is nice. It's secure. It's just not, you know, as nice as other brands, but I think it just does and fits perfectly with the overall backpack. If the backpack isn't fully, you know, packed, I would just be careful if you are kind of like flipping up the bag. That might just slip out of this. The back of this backpack is where I want to kind of get into a few things. So when you're thinking about the material here on the front, water is easily going to run off this and your valuables are protected. Well, this here kind of protects this front pocket, and the rest are kind of protected by the materials around it, which is great. It isn't waterproof, but it is water resistant, and I can see that from the front. But now if we're looking here at the back, and this kind of material here is only going to soak up that water, and not only the water but the sweat if you are using this bag for a long hours or you're taking it up on a hike. If your skin is making contact with this, then the sweat is going to stick to this bag. There isn't really enough air ventilation and flow going through this bag. Another thing to know, and one of the things I definitely look out for on a backpack, is the back support. I definitely need that kind of support. This backpack lacks it, but in saying that, although there is no real support here, it is mesh. It is kind of, when it's fully packed, you kind of get that like that upright support. But if the backpack isn't fully packed, then it's not going to really work in terms of support. But what I will say is that the kind of like the buckle strap, which works well for this bag, I think if you overcomplicate this bag with external features such as a thicker sternum strap or even a hip strap, then it becomes a travel backpack. Whereas I feel this is more of a day-to-day work commute gym bag, city break style type of backpack, rather than a whole adventure ticket to backpacking around Europe type style. So straps on the arms and the sternum straps makes up for the lack of support on the back. It kind of just tightens everything in. It would have been great if I had a hip strap, but I just don't think adding like the sternum strap here is, you don't really want to overcomplicate it with that, but I think that the support is enough for your day-to-day commutes and day-to-day life in the straps as well as the sternum strap. But if you are looking for extra support in that back, then maybe this backpack isn't for you. I would recommend you go down into the description where I will leave Stubble & Co.'s link. They have the roll top backpack, which is kind of like the same style, the same size. Beautiful, love it, and it has amazing back support. So the sternum strap you can take off and add into a different loop should you need to change it to your build and height. You've got a few on each side, which is great, and then you have anything that you might want to tag here along with the brand. I absolutely love their brand logo, so I feel like it fits really well. So I was able to test this out on a hike, long walks, and for me it's just not a bag that's going to give you enough airflow for those kind of adventures. It's fine, I mean, you can cool down and whatnot, but over time the smell and the sweat is going to be within this bag, and that's just something to know. But because the backpack is so light, obviously if you're not on a hike and you're not fully packing it with clothes and things like that, if you're taking it on a weekend away, then the backpack is going to feel lighter and it's not going to feel like there is anything on your back. It's completely lightweight in that sense, and depending on the walk and the hike, you'll know yourself as to whether or not this is suitable for you. I think you just have to pack smart and it'll be less sweaty. But the thing to note is that you have this kind of water pack, bladder pack that you can place in here, and that goes through to your laptop compartment should you want to transform this bag into some sort of activity backpack. If you are a fan of an organizational backpack that has more pockets and more features inside and more things for your smaller items, then this backpack isn't going to be for you because it's quite minimalist in that sense. You've got this side compartment which is great for anything like your passport, your books. I don't really have much in there. It is, as mentioned, a tight squeeze if the backpack is fully packed, but you will manage to get something in there. It does run along nicely. You could even fit like your tablet. It's whatever you kind of feel safe having in there. You're quite lucky in the sense for anti-theft that this is quite hidden behind this flapped material that it's hid behind. So that's quite handy in that sense, but just be aware at your own risk for everything that there is no like extra tags or anything that you could attach to. I mean, if you were super creative, you could probably attach something to this. When it is fully packed though, as mentioned, it is a struggle to get things in, so it would be a struggle to get things out. Then you have this front compartment. Fully packed, you're not getting enough space. I have my AirPods in here, which is handy enough because you can kind of sit those up at the top like a line, like so. And then I have a pair of cheap sunglasses in here. I would not be putting anything affordable in that front pocket when it is fully packed, because they could easily just snap. The space is going to depend on what you have at the top of the bag, and just be aware that it is compromised whenever you have it fully packed. But when it's not fully packed, then you can fit definitely a few more things in there. And note that it just sits at the very top, so at your own risk again as to whether you feel comfortable having valuables in there or not. So this backpack is a top loading backpack, so there is no clamshell opening or anything like that, so it doesn't really activate suitcase mode. But I have to tell you, for 25 litres you can get plenty in here. It's got this kind of tent material inside, which I absolutely love in terms of protecting your belongings on the inside, because it's got that kind of washable run-off material, which is great for that. This water bottle compartment that doesn't compromise any sort of space within the bag. It doesn't like push in or anything like that, which is great. So you have that at the side if you want to. And inside the backpack, you will see there is a lot of depth, which is great. So moving on to the inside of the backpack, you do have this laptop compartment and then a front little kind of a tech accessory pocket in the front of the laptop compartment. The laptop fits up to 15 inches. My laptop is 11 inches for reference, and then it is held down by this buckle. Again, it's not an overly secured buckle, but it does the job, and it kind of goes again with the overall aesthetics of the bag. I think it works well. It's nothing that's ever going to bother me. The only thing is that there isn't really enough padding. There's enough padding on the back to protect the back of the laptop compartment, but as far as the front of the laptop, it's not really enough for me. There is more padding actually in the smaller compartment in front of the laptop compartment as opposed to the one in the laptop compartments. And then in front of the laptop compartment and the wee tech accessory pocket, you've got this zipped pocket that is mesh. The mesh is alright. It's kind of rough is what I want to say. I feel like, yeah, it's rough, but I feel like it's strong. And then you have this wee key holder in there. I've never actually used a key lash or anything. This is quite cheap and definitely would break if I got too aggressive with it. I will definitely leave links in the description for other alternative backpacks so you can go check out them. The bottom of the backpack doesn't really have enough like padding or anything like that, so just be careful when you drop the bag. The only thing that is protecting it is this bottom back of the laptop compartment and the back of the bag. I think it's so handy. I absolutely love it. It's definitely up there in terms of my everyday backpack that I will be using, and I will continue to use it and keep you updated in possibly a year or two's time to see how it gets on. A thing to note is that inside the backpack, I mean, I rave about it all the time, is Stubble & Co. I think they've just done everything so well in my eyes, but this isn't a roll top or anything like that. But inside their bag, they have like this luminous orange material which helps you find things. The only thing is that with this kind of top loading packing, if you are packing it for traveling purposes, everything is going to be at the bottom of the bag, so I would pack smartly and have what you need at the top so it's quick and easy to access that. And also when it is packed, it is a bit dark, so you can't really see what you're looking for, but obviously it's quite bright enough when it isn't fully packed, so you can kind of see with this green it reflects in. So that's just something to note. Not really a con, it's just really down to preference, isn't it? If you would prefer to read the written review on the Black Hole 25 litres from the brand Patagonia, then the links will be in the description for that. If you happen to have a wee gander on their website and you're thinking, oh, I'd love to have a wee bag like that, then I would greatly appreciate if you could use the links below. It does offer a small commission towards this channel, which helps grow the channel and hopefully give more honest, authentic reviews for you guys on products that you love. I would really appreciate it if you do, and I hope you have a beautiful week and see you in the next review.